Well, here we are. So I decided to record this because I saw a comment from Leftism today on the Jason Unruh video. And he said, obviously he said he was Chicano. And so he said, well, I'm not from Europe, but I go there because, those motherfuckers have trains and free healthcare. I'm going to ignore the free healthcare stuff, but I will talk about the aspect of trains. In general, I don't really care that much about trains, to be honest with you, because, living in a state like Texas where, you have 254 counties, the truck, it's king truck around here, kind of like King Cotton, it's king truck around here, where, everyone's driving for miles and miles. Like, yeah, you do have train tracks, but that's for commercial use, they're, for the few coal-fired plants that are in this state, or whatever the case may be, that's what people do, right? There's not really that many passenger trains. There aren't that many there's no trolleys here, There used to be. But I think that there is a potential with the auto industry's kind of huge mess up by not producing and not holding any supplies back and not holding any inventory, pretty much no inventory, I should say. I shouldn't say zero, but not having that much inventory to get to have parts available for vehicles and everything else like that, and to build vehicles. They've kind of been left in a lurch. This is part of the reason why rental car companies have gone down the poop chute. But I do think that there is a potential for trains to come back to the U.S. in some way. But the thing is, that would require changing everything. I don't know. Revolution, basically. I know. That's ultimately the answer. But it's like, how would that look? And the thing is, too, there's another aspect where I think a lot of boomers, love their old cars. They love their old, their old Mustangs, or their, I'm trying to think of it's a Chevy, what is it, like a Meadowlark or something else like that. I can't think of, I'm not a car guy necessarily, but it's like, people that get freedom from that, and they can have their system in their vehicle. It's a very individualist type thing. A train, relatively speaking, is a collectivist sort of thing. It's kind of reflective of the society, America is obviously an individualist country. And, so you can listen to whatever music, you play in there, or listen to the Jerky Boys, or listen to, Opie and Anthony. Well, Opie and Anthony doesn't exist, but, you could just listen to, Anthony Acumia's show, or whatever the case may be, right? There's the whole idea of it. Or you can, for me, probably playing like, I was thinking about this earlier, but thinking about that song, I Left It Wet For You by UGK. You have that boom, boom, boo-doo-doo-doo. I don't feel like getting copyright stricken, but yeah. I make it wet for you, fool. Yeah, that's a good song. But anyway, I think that, that's kind of the difference between, that's one of the many aspects between trains and cars. Is it, cars, you can listen to what you want. Also, it's easier to work on a car than versus working on a train, Even with electric trains, I imagine, like I say, there are probably complications, this and that, but I think that there's something that, that there's, once again, this kind of boomer idea, or even, a millennial and zoomer idea, where it's like, you can fix your own car, this and that, and you can put whatever you want on it, right? You can put your rims on it, or you can, get it ready for mudding or something like that, or maybe, maybe you want to turn it, maybe you live on the West Coast or something, and you want to put hydraulics on and whatnot, and have it jump up and down, I don't know, that's the whole thing, right? It's an individualist versus collective argument, really, with trains, I think. And people, I'm sure, disagree, but I feel like that's kind of where the separation is. Like I say, I'm not going to sit here and argue about free healthcare. Yeah, I can support free healthcare. But I think another aspect of it is that, yeah, Europe, like I say, the European Union is kind of cringe. Like I say, you can go ahead and say what you will and say, yeah, well, some, yeah, some countries aren't part of the EU, yeah, I get that, but it's like, I don't know. I think that it's just, yeah, I don't completely have any hatred against Europeans. I'm just saying is that we're not the same people, obviously. It's like, it's like trying to imagine, and I saw this in some comments on the Jason Unruh video as well, but I'll say it here, is that, yeah, the Boers, if we want to put it that way, from South Africa, even though a lot of them came from, France, and came from, the Netherlands, and of course the UK, Britain, I'll just put it that way, Britain. If they've been there a couple generations, they don't have anything to do with South Africa. Or, excuse me, they don't have anything to do with their home countries. So they go to places like Georgia, the state of, not the US state, but the other, Georgia. And they go to, Eastern Europe in many cases. And that's what occurs, I think that similarly, with Americans, I don't think that many Americans will choose Europe. I think that they will choose the Philippines. I think that they will choose, Canada. Depending on what happens in Canada. They will probably go down to Mexico in some cases. They will go to other countries other than where they came from, because a lot of it comes from an individualist streak. Do I think that will change do I think that's, same across the board of Euro-Americans? No. But I think that that's what's going to occur. I'm going to leave it there. I keep on wanting to bring up this drama. It's like there's no reason for it. Honestly, I just wanted to make a video to dab on what Jason Unruh was saying, but I'm just going to let it go. I'm going to let it go, and this is what I should do here. I think that overall, I don't have anything against trains. I think trains are what they are, in terms of, and more specifically, electric power bullet trains. But the thing is, though, is that the U.S. Doesn't really value the train in the same way, and the train culture. Obviously, yeah, it exists, but doesn't exist in the same way as it does in Europe, or exists in China or wherever. It's just not really there because obviously, Americans, we like to, even if you do get stuck in traffic and all of this other stuff, yeah, for big cities, yeah, it would be good to have trains and whatnot that we can get from here to there or whatnot, or put people on buses. Okay, yeah, but will that change in the rural areas? Like I say, that's the difference, isn't it? That's a real question. In the rural parts or whatever the case may be, it's like if you're going from like Lawton, let's say this, like Lawton, Oklahoma, traveling up to Oklahoma City, probably, most folks are going to travel by car still. Why would you want to build why would you want to build it to a train going there, going from Oklahoma City to Lawton, or vice versa? I don't know. It could happen. I'm not going to say it couldn't, but a lot of folks will question that. Yeah, within New York City, you have the L's and everything else like that, or Chicago as well. I'm just trying to have a Chicago accent, but I don't know. Like I say, at this point, I'm just rambling, and does it really make that much sense? I don't know. I just felt like putting something out, just as a, hey, here you go. I don't have anything against trains, but that's where you are. And I know, I know the whole, what trains can be used for, wink, wink, or, what you can say it. But yeah, whatever at this point. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed that. So, see you later, and goodbye.